Welcome to another delicious podcast, delicious, lovely, sensual
Yummy
podcast of Unscripted Gaming. It's just me and Mike today.
Hi.
Now I'm going to be honest, I think it's just me and Mike for the reasons that we watched all of EVO. Well, most of EVO. I didn't watch all of it. But the parts that we're going to talk about are the parts that we like the most. Full disclosure, barely watched any Street Fighter V. Shame on me.
I did not watch any Street Fighter V because it was
perfectly
like
fine.
2 o'clock Eastern when that finished, and I was like, nope, no, thank you.
Yeah, their timing was a little weird. We'll get to who should have been the best top of the show. As a matter of fact, this podcast will go up like a couple days later. Dragon Ball Z should have been the final match. That should have been the grand stage final match of that entire show.
Yeah, it definitely... for those who don't know, EVO, the EVO, is basically one of the largest kind of gatherings for fighting game tournaments. So your Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Smash Brothers, and other fake fighting games like Smash Brothers.
Wow. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. We're not having this fight.
And, no, it's okay. I'm on your side. Don't worry.
Okay.
Basically, it's one of the biggest, if not biggest, kind of coming togethers of all these like fighting game communities for these various games. And one of the reasons, I was more excited about EVO than I ever had been previously. Namely, was because Dragon Ball FighterZ was 2018's Game of the Year. You heard it here first. Was featured prominently in that it had the most entrants in its tournament. I think it beating out Street Fighter, which is a really big deal because EVO, like Street Fighter is always the EVO game.
Yeah.
But to see
without Street Fighter, EVO doesn't exist.
Exactly. Like EVO, like Street Fighter is so, like to the history of EVO, like Street Fighter is so critical from like old guys like Daigo. And
go further back. Like take it to like the first EVO tournament was
taping
just
quarters on
2.
machines and.
Yeah.
So, to say that, like, I mean, Street Fighter has always been a huge part of EVO. So to see Dragon Ball FighterZ kind of, which is from Arc Systems, who are obviously not an inexperienced developer in the fighting game world, but to see it smash in, be so popular, and have one of the craziest and most like it wasn't a huge, it wasn't like a humongous upset, but it was just to have as thrilling of like a pool in top 8 for Dragon Ball as it was, and like set, I think like 260, like 250,000 people were watching the the Dragon Ball finals, which
just on Twitch.
Yeah, just on Twitch, and I think that broke all sorts of Twitch broadcast records. Definitely for EVO, it was the Dragon Ball top 8 was the most popular stream that has ever come out of EVO.
Yes. Yeah. Also, I commented to Mike. This speaks to how badly Capcom has treated the Street Fighter franchise or their fighting game franchises within the past couple of years. Yeah. There was no Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite representation.
That's what I was going to say.
No one even was like surprised by that.
Like, it's just because, I mean, normally Marvel vs. Capcom is another big staple of EVO, and their most recent entry in the series has just fallen completely off the planet, and it's really wild that it was nowhere to be seen on Sunday. Like, that says so much about the reception of that game. And I think Dragon Ball bringing in such a huge audience and being being such an engaging final to watch, like, it was incredible. Like, I mean, we'll get into the bit more of the match itself between Goichi and Sonic Fox here soon. But
yes.
just it was, I think it really was a testament to like ultimately what I love about Dragon Ball, in that it uses Dragon Ball, which is super popular and has all these really cool classic characters and moments, and is the fan service treatment of it is so perfect. It's a really approachable game to someone who's not like super duper deep into fighting games, more so than probably like the average person who bought Dragon Ball FighterZ, but not on like probably like winning. I don't have like a 10 win streak on ranked or anything like that. But it's so cool because it's such an approachable game that it reaches a huge audience, but it has such a high ceiling too, with like the things that those guys are pulling off is just I'm good enough to understand how impossible what I was seeing is. Like, it's so cool
because they were regularly doing it. So I don't know if it's impossible or just like they're just that skilled.
It's like I kind of feel like I'm Yamcha because I know I'm not anywhere near. Like, I'm good enough to like know how good the actually good people are and how like wildly better they are than me, and how I will never ever achieve that. Like getting into like one of my, I think the I don't know if you want to talk about a little bit any other kind of big points you want to hit generally about EVO.
Well, yes. Before we just geek out about Dragon Ball FighterZ for like the next, I don't know, 20 minutes, I wanted to, like, on podcast bring up how disappointed I am with the way Smash Brothers Wii U Smash 4 is exiting the fighting game scene. In case you guys didn't watch EVO or you have no interest in watching the Smash Brothers fight, I feel you, because I didn't, because when I was watching the pools, it was boring. And then it got worse in the top 8 because it was just Bayonetta. And someone, I forget who it was, they tweeted like, did we kill Smash? When you look at like the top 8 roster and it's just Bayonetta players. Yeah. And then the last 2 fights, the crowd is just booing them. Like in the semifinals, the crowd is just booing the players every time it's just Bayonetta on Bayonetta. Because who wants to watch that? It's like, boo!
Yeah,
this is boring!
Well, shout out to the EVO crowd for being lit as hell.
I mean, it
was amazing.
It's bad form to start booing the contestants for, I would say, like, hey, I came here to win and I'm going to pick the character that's going to get me to win. But that speaks volumes about the game where one of the last DLC, I say again, one of the last DLC characters is, by and large, the best character in the game. To the point where if you didn't pick this character, you're just going to lose against an equally skilled opponent.
It's bad enough that, like, it would be bad enough if Bayonetta was a launch character and that overpowered, but definitely it being her being an add-on character feels like a.
Yeah, that feels skeevy. That feels so. The two.
It's like, even if they didn't intend it to be a truly skeevy thing, which I highly doubt, it's like still, like, come on, like you gotta fix this, like.
They're not going to. They're focusing on Smash Ultimate, which makes the salt in the wound even deeper. The 2 grand finalists, I showed this video to Mike, they were just getting booed the entire time. So set 2, they just talked to each other real quick, because they're friends in real life, and they knew Bayonetta was the best character, so they climbed all the way to the top, and they talked to each other real quick. You can see him on stream, and they just held the Bayonetta charge button as if she's about to charge to an attack.
They took a knee during the national anthem of Smash Brothers. Is essentially what that is.
And
not really.
People are walking by just giving them an interview, and they're like, so what are you going to do? And one guy's like, I just want to win! And so it got to the point where after a minute and a half of them not attacking, the ref came by with the rules and said, listen, you 2 have to actually play the game or you're both disqualified.
That's incredible.
That was the death nail of Smash in the competitive Smash Brothers on the Wii U in the competitive scene.
You know, and I watched a little bit of the Melee final, and
it's still good. It's still fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I wasn't just compared. Ultimately compared, like it's kind of hard to beat like peak Dragon Ball, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like, something about the commentary. I feel like I guess I understand. Like, if you're watching EVO, you're obviously a pretty well versed in it. But as someone who plays a lot of Smash Brothers, but isn't like super duper into the competitive scene, I wish they would have done. I thought the Dragon Ball commentators did a great job of kind of explain like what the larger game kind of going on here is. Like, how it's not just about the execution. It's like, okay, well, these are his kind of mix up options he has here, and I felt like the Melee commentators weren't doing a great job of bringing in people who might be new to see this scene. So, like, I thought the Dragon Ball commentators did a really good job of kind of balancing that, and it's like it's a tough act because you don't want to you don't need to explain the game of football every single time someone watches a football game, but you kind of need to bring the audience along with you, and it felt like the Melee commentators weren't really doing that for me personally. The other game I think we should talk about here before we hit Dragon Ball mainly was I hear Tekken was lit.
I watched the Tekken Grand Finals, and that was fun because you got to see, I forget what his name is. He was the U.S. contender. He was playing King.
Yo!
Yes.
Yeah.
He perfected double Jin twice, and then lost a set.
No.
And then got 3 stocked. That was some good fighting game fight to watch. It was always a constant back and forth, and there was a reset. So,
I should play more Tekken.
Tekken 7's still good, still great.
I should play. I'm gonna start playing Tekken. I should do that.
I mean, you won't be alone. That scene's only getting bigger, which is a good thing. To your point about Melee, I think it's because Melee is like knocking on the door of 15 years old. So it's like if you're watching a Melee fight, it's like watching a Street Fighter 2 fight. Like, at this point, you pretty much know what's going on.
I think that's kind of it too, because it just, again, it's for it to still have as big of an audience and draw is a testament to the game. But I kind of forgot. Like, you're right, that game is, because it came out the same year the GameCube, and that's legit like 15 years old. And it just,
oh man, it's older than that. Oh, I feel old.
Damn.
Oh no. Oh no!
I still remember when I first got the GameCube for Christmas, and I was playing Luigi's Mansion, and the animation for Luigi going to open the doorknob, I remember it being 60 frames a second, and I remember seeing that after only having played like PlayStation, like Crash Bandicoot ass games, and the Pizza Hut demo disc with Metal Gear Solid on it, and because I wasn't allowed to buy the real one, and then seeing Luigi turn that doorknob, and I was like, "This is the peak of graphics. Games will never be better than this. This is the final. This is the quantum step here." This is the limit. We are approaching the infinite limit of graphic technology. Nothing will surpass this. Go look it up on YouTube. It's incredible. I swear to God.
It's funny you say that because I thought Smash Brothers Melee was peak game graphics at the time when I saw that.
It was definitely peak Ganon graphics. I'll tell you that much.
It's peak something.
Yeah. But anyways, you're right. I think that was part of it, dude. Just because it's such a. I don't know how this will sound. It's such a solved game, I guess. Like, it's so down to a science. I guess it feels like, everyone's just gonna play Fox. They're just gonna keep dashing back and forth and get someone in the air and do the up kick. And it's just, it's not that it's like I don't appreciate the technical difficulty of doing that, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, I'm ready for something. I'm ready for a new Smash Bros. Game to hopefully be balanced competitively, but we shall see.
I hope Ultimate takes the reins well. Because, I think I said it like in our E3 pod. I think when you know how Sakurai keeps threatening to say this is the last Smash Brothers, and he's been saying it since Melee. I think he means it this time. I think he's for real this time. I think that's why he threw in Ridley. He threw in every single character ever.
I'm still physically angry that Ridley is an actual character. I was one of those. He's too big. He's too big. It doesn't make any sense.
Does it make you feel better that Ridley's up taunt is him just standing up to prove how big he is?
No, it makes me angrier. He's too big. I've been team he's too big the entire time. Hashtag he's too big. It doesn't make any sense. The scale's completely off. And it's just itty bitty little baby Ridley. That's who you're playing as. You're not playing as real Ridley. Itty bitty.
No, he's crouched down the entire time, like the entire time he's fighting. But yeah, his up taunt is just him standing up, and he's like twice the size of his character model by just standing up.
Is this the year we finally get Goku in Smash? Is it gonna happen?
I mean, since Cloud and Bayonetta are there, like anything's game, right? Cloud, Bayonetta, and Ryu. So maybe. I don't see
Chalmers.
No, that's just not happening. Let's move on to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Okay. Predictions. Here's my prediction. Are you ready? Cell and Bardock are getting nerfed next patch.
No, don't do it. Arxis, don't do it. I thought I was actually getting good at that game. Little did I know I had picked the most, based on the top 8, the most overpowered characters possible.
When you watch live on stream just a Cell touch of death with 1 meter to start, you're like, that's messed up.
It's like, okay, that's pretty bad. Like, you know, you want to have some skill and stuff like that, but man, you probably shouldn't be able to touch death someone with 1 bar from the middle of the screen.
Cell looking at you, sparking. 1 bar, that's all I need. No sparking. He did have to call character assists, but, you know, that's part of the touch of death formula. But still, 1 bar. Start of match.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. And I saw it twice.
I'll admit, that's pretty bad. It's not good. It's not looking great for my team. Bardock's level 3 hits basically when someone is grounded, which is super duper unfair. And he can mix up out of it on the wake up out of it, like he can be anywhere on the planet and you'll never know 'cause it's too late. Because he can front dash, he can side dash, he can diagonal dash, he can dash behind you and then dash up. It's real bad.
His wake up out of it is just angering. Because it's like you just got placed down and you got hit like a Mack truck. And then there's Bardock already all up in your... He's supposed to have a cooldown, like frame cooldown after his 3rd level attack.
Navi.
No.
He's still heated.
His frame cooldowns occur in the cinematic of his frames, where like the other character can't react, and then boom, he's instantly ready to go. He just javelin rushes to you.
It's incredible.
And and it's stupid. God, it's so stupid. There's no answer to that.
I'm really nervous for this patch. I have a bad feeling. I think we're gonna get knocked back down to imperfect Cell. Really nervous.
They take it all the way back. They're like, give me Android 18. Nah, B. You keep 17, you'll be good.
Although, based on the leaks, he might be actually the next character added to the DLC. Android 18.
Oh yeah, after the
17.
finals, they announced a new character. They announced Cooler coming to the game.
Cool.
And they announced Najin for Tekken 7. They announced like other characters, like they announced Anna. Haven't seen her in a while, and they announced Lee something. I forget his last name. It's been a while since I played Tekken, obviously. But then they announced Nejin from The Walking Dead. Like, that's a weird crossover. He's not even a video game character.
Okay, over under. How many years is it until we get the Noid in Tekken?
You know what? If you're talking about the real over under, I'm giving it another like 20 Because if they're throwing Nijin in there, then they have like next to infinite pool of people to just throw into the game. Matter of fact, all right, the Noid, 100 years. Tekken is a live support game for
100. You think we won't have the Noid in Tekken within 100 years?
Okay, so there are so many.
I was thinking
more...
like 7.
There are so many more people that make more sense than Nijin in The Walking Dead that to me the floodgates are open and you could just put anyone in there.
It's Negan. It's not Nijin. It's Negan.
Anyway, I've never watched an episode past.
It's okay. Don't. It's a bad show.
Season 4.
It's garbage.
Okay, it's garbage.
Don't watch it. Don't.
The graphic novels are cool. I love the graphic novels. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about the fight.
Okay.
Let's talk about the grand finals.
That was some of the most incredible dragon fighting game playing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't believe that. My only regret is that I wish we had gotten more, because it's so clear that they're both so good.
Yeah.
And
you got 2 bracket resets. What more do you want?
I want more. I'm greedy because it was so good. Like
you literally got maximum fighting.
Forever you, because Sonic, because it was crazy, because, plus, the narrative was so Dragon Ball 2, because, Sonic Fox knocks out Goichi earlier in the tournament, so Goichi's in the loser's bracket, fights his way all the way up to, the finals to face Sonic Fox again, and then just kicks the crap out of him in the first matches, and you're just like, oh, shit, Sonic Fox is gonna go down, and then they're,
angry.
Yeah, and then Sonic Fox comes back, just like the show, because if a Saiyan almost dies and then they come back to full health, they're even stronger. And he just had some of the gutsiest plays.
There's a Shenron called Goichi called out Shenron.
It was the dragon, and he still lost.
My gosh,
incredible.
Let's get this out of the way because it's going to get talked about, and it's been getting talked about. Sonic Fox's quote-unquote, I'm throwing air quotes for people that obviously can never see me, controversial seat switch. Because during his second set, after getting reset in his loser bracket, so I guess it's actually his third set, he brought the referees over and he pulled out a rule that exists in the EVO rule books, but no one has used since, I think it was 2003. And he called for a seat switch to player one side. And there are some people saying that that's unsportsmanlike and that he probably would have lost.
Exactly. It's if that's what you're looking to, in my opinion, no one blames losing the NBA Finals on shooting at a different hoop. There are other when you're at that high of a level, any sort of placebo effect you have about something like that is just something you just have to be better than that. To blame the seat, to blame the cooldown and the seat switch. You can all why you should look at Goichi's, how he gave Sonic Fox windows to launch some badass combos on him as Android 16.
He did drop a couple combos. Goichi, the commentators were calling out, "Oh, he dropped this combo. He dropped that combo. Oh my gosh, he got baited." There is a So Sonic Fox, I will respect this. He played the psychological game well. There is something psychologically to be said about playing on left side, first player side, and that's why it's in the rule books. And tell you what, I bet you Goichi wasn't even factoring that in. No one factors that in. But I applaud Sonic Fox for remembering that rule and saying, you know what? I got you. I got you. I'm gonna play with your mind a little.
Yeah, they're allowed to call for it. So, and I think they even flipped a coin because Goichi said he did not want to change seats, and they flipped a coin for it, which I honestly don't think you have to. They have to do.
They do have to flip a coin if the second person doesn't concede to
if he doesn't want to switch. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because they flip a coin to see who gets it first, and then you have to.
Okay.
After a set, you can go ahead and say I would like a seat switch, and then they flip a coin if the other person doesn't concede, and it landed in Sonic Fox's favor. He had a 50-50 chance of that going wrong for him, and who knows, we might be in a different world had it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think with like, I still feel like if they didn't get the Switch, I mean, Sonic Fox was so dominant in that, in those final sets. Like, I don't know what if he just needed like, I just don't know if that.
I think he cooled down Goichin. I think he was hot. He was ready to go. His fingers were primed, and that was like 5 minutes of nothing happening and cooled him down. He got his head, and that's fine. That's fine.
Exactly.
That's part of the game.
That's part of the game. But do you know what else? To get back to the match itself. To get back to the match itself, do you know what else is part of the game? Goichi freaking blocking like 30 attacks in a row, like with the change ups. That was the nasty like. When you look at fighting games, a lot of times the most popular things to talk about are like the crazy ass combos people do, and there was plenty of that. But like, just that block strength from Goichi was just like he blocked every single like high, low, middle, change up, like the vanish, like the character assist, like every single thing he did for like a solid 30 seconds. He just blocked the whole string, and it was the most. It was honestly the most like. I think that was the most jaw-dropping thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You could not even touch him. It was so cool to see, and it was just like, I could never do this. This is like, because he also knew that I was like, okay, well, I need to make sure I'm back here because when he calls in the Vegeta assist, I need to make sure I'm under it and like duck it like by the animation by like 1 pixel, and just play like that was so incredible to see, like. And Sonic Fox had some really... His Android 16 play... Android 16, for those who are not familiar, is like a kind of a brawler, grapple-y character. And he had some of the gutsiest like grabs and reads. Like, he knew exactly when Sonic Fox... Or when Goichi was going to jump, and he was right there and just... Poof, like, for the dunk.
Like he had the command input... And he was just waiting to let go of the button to initiate.
Goichi downloaded. And
I think they both fought well. Also,
it's so clear that there's such like a 1A 1B. I mean, because there were stretches in that game where they were both so good. Also, the Bardock level 3 is. I really enjoy the Bardock level 3.
It's getting nerfed.
So it's real hype. Also, I mentioned it earlier, but we need to shout out the crowd, the EVO crowd, for being super hyped during that, because they were freaking out like when Shenron showed up, and every time the match starts and like Zelda is like, ha! And then like the whole crowd is like, ha! It was so good.
The whole crowd yells with it. That is great. That was excellent. And they were doing it in the semifinals whenever Yamcha did his level 3. The crowd would howl with Yamcha.
Man,
that's so cheesy too, because Yamcha's such a horrible I can't even front. A Yamcha player made it to semifinals. That's more than Krillin. That's more than Broly.
Didn't a Captain Ginyu main like make it really far too?
Captain Ginyu main made it to like 8th or 7th.
That's incredible.
That's so dumb.
Basically, I think Dragon Ball has already like taken kind of the fighting game team, the world by storm, and this is just it's such a. It was. You couldn't have scripted it to be any more like entertaining. It was so crazy. I've already rewatched the whole match like twice since it happened on Sunday night, just because it's that good. And I am, I'm looking forward to many more years of this game at EVO because it's just so damn hype. Oh my god, it's so good.
I loved every second of it. I just plopped in my chair. I had a bowl of oranges, some alcohol on standby, and I just watched all the way from Tekken semifinals all the way through all of DBZ. No regrets, because I learned some skills. I don't know how applicable they're going to be come the next patch, once some characters that I play might get the axe.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, Arc Systems. Don't go back to Imperfect Cell, please, no.
Also, while
I'm so nervous.
Arc Systems again.
God. I'll just have to roll out Team Big Boy.
Cell nursing coming. Bardock's level 3 will now just has a 50% chance to miss on down.
Whoa. Okay, let's not get crazy here.
You just roll dice.
As long as
every
they
time
double
you
the
turn
damage, it'll be fine.
Arc System, we were mentioning earlier how much they are just beating Capcom because Capcom only had one game representation. Plus, Capcom's match for Street Fighter V, just their final starting, occurred in my time zone, and I think also Mike's. Maybe you're like an hour ahead of me. At like, what was that, like 11 at night?
Yeah.
Like, alright, I'm not staying up to watch this. I don't know. Everyone in the Mandalay Bay, go ahead, have your fun, but I'm out. I'm going to sleep. It's Sunday. I got work in the morning. What do you guys thought? But Arc System had, I think it was like 4 or 5 games at EVO this year compared to Capcom's 1. So, and every single game except Smash Bros. Wii U and Smash Bros. Melee all ran on the Unreal Engine. Sometimes a modified version of it, but it was all the Unreal Engine. Every single one of those games. So the real winners of EVO 2018 are Arc Systems and Unreal and Epic Games.
Mm-hmm. Fortnite is the best fighting game.
And the losers of EVO are... Oh, gosh. And the losers of EVO are Razer for when Homeboy's controller disconnected during the pools match of Street Fighter V. I saw that... No, it was during DB Dragon Ball FighterZ. I saw that. It was bad. It looked bad. The entire chat was saying, I'm not getting a Razer controller. I'm sorry, Razer. That was a bad look. Oh, one final point I wanted to bring up. One very last point. Sonic Fox is the best Dragon Ball FighterZ player in the world. He was using a basic comes in the box PS4 controller.
Man of the proletariat. That's I mean, it's just this is the future. This is the future that liberals want, is when a gay black furry can win the best fighting tournament for Dragon Ball at the most popular game with a pack-in controller and not a $500 fight stick. Yo, It's incredible. Like
Goichiron was like the only person that he was actually losing to consistently. Everyone else, he's like, y'all free. And he walked off the stage with a PS4 controller. You're like, man, I feel dumb because I got my $60 arcade fight stick over there like a dumbass, apparently.
It means nothing.
It clearly means
still
nothing.
Suck.
Oh, I do!
I suck more, but that's okay.
I need to just go get a basic ass PS4 controller and just get good. That's the issue with everyone.
Man,
that feels good.
You need to play with. You need to hook up the DJ Hero turntable and beat people with that.
Play Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Switch version and just use the upcoming Pokemon Go ball. Pokeball.
Stop it. I want to use the robot backpack.
You do the Cell Infinite with the Pokeball.
I think you're gonna break your TV if you do that.
All right, that's all I wanted to talk about for EVO.
Yeah, Dragon Ball kicks ass. It's the game of the year. You heard it here first. All other video games are bad. EVO's great.
There was very little. There were some issues. There were some sound and technical issues with EVO as a whole, but lo and behold, it became the most watched competition. I mean, it became the most watched thing on Twitch, beating Fortnite very briefly.
Yeah, I think the peak it reached was approximately 258K.
Something like that. Something just enough to edge out Fortnite for everyone watching Sonic Fox and Goichiron try to see who's going to take it home. All right, you got anything else, Mike?
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this very quick and special episode. I hope you have enjoyed it, and please check us out again on iTunes, on SoundCloud. Oh, heck, if you want to just check us out on Facebook, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it.
Smash that like button, fam.
Oh my gosh, don't smash it. Just click it. It's okay to just click the like button.
Firmly grasp it.
Oh my gosh. And my name is Ray.
My name is Mike.
And y'all have a good one.